Hey guys, welcome back to Wingers and Defenders. And right now we're back discussing the Premier League. This time we're discussing Premier League match week 1. We got a lot of 8 games in total here to discuss this match week. And it's just exciting to have Premier League football back, guys. And I'm joined with Christian DeBlock and Jacob Ford. And welcome, guys, to the show.
Up.
Yep, here again.
This is about our fourth recording of this because I've just been absolutely stinkers today. Anyway, so we're gonna get up with our first match of the week, which is Saturday, September 12th, not October 12th, at 7:30 a.m. We got Arsenal versus Fulham. Jacob, you're an Arsenal fan. What do you think of this match?
As the Arsenal correspondent, I honestly believe that we will win 3-1. I think our attack, we're going to be very good against this Fulham defense, newly promoted team that I feel like we'll go right back down to the championship. I think Arsenal have too many weapons and we're going to win 3-1. We'll probably lose our concentration towards the end of the match and concede, but I'm thinking 3-1. Yeah, I'm confident.
Christian?
Yeah, I think Arsenal are going to win this game. I don't even know how they would lose it, in my opinion. The fact that there's no fans still is a big blow for promoted sides. Craven Cottage has a lot of history. Fulham's been in the Premier League for a lot of times, in big stretches of time. So they're a relatively decently sized club overall. Just they haven't done well. They didn't do well last time they were up. And I'm expecting, like Jake just mentioned, they're probably going right back down. I think they just got They got Areola from Real Madrid, the goalie, who will be good. But when you have a good goalie and you have a poor defense, it's going to be interesting to see how they play. But Mitrovic is a solid striker. I think there's a chance they could get a goal. Like Jake just mentioned, they might lose some concentration, Arsenal's defense, depending on who they play. But Aubameyang's going to have a goal. I'm sure Pepe will probably start, and he could do something. I think they just have way too much talent for Fulham. I will go with 2-0.
I agree with Arsenal winning this game. I think it's gonna be 2-1 though. I do think Fulham's gonna bag a goal. I do think that Arsenal's a much better team, but I think they're going to start off slow. The way they play, I don't know how much they're going to necessarily do too much on the offensive side. I think Aubameyang is going to bag a goal and maybe Pepe. I don't know who else, but I don't expect 3 from them in this game. I just don't think they have that type of offense right this season. Moving on.
Takes already.
Yeah, if we can't score 3 against Fulham, I don't know what's going to happen.
First match week. I think there's going to be a little bit of a transition period, like to start the season. I think teams are going to start off a little bit slow. You don't really have a full preseason. Anyway, going to game 2, 10 o'clock on Sunday, Crystal Palace versus Southampton. How do we feel about this game?
I don't know why. I'm feeling a draw. I'm thinking a 1-1 draw. I don't know. I don't think one team is better than the. I mean, I think Southampton is a bit better than Crystal Palace, but I mean, again, like Joe has even said, it's the first match week. People can come out kind of slow. There was a small window between the season, last season ending and this season beginning. I think Palace is a decent size of Southampton. I can see Danny Ings getting a goal in, maybe Jordan Ayew strike. I'm thinking 1-1. I don't think I'm going to win this game. I think it's going to be defensive battle and a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, in the Premier League predictions video, which isn't up yet, which these could be up in different orders. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, it's going to be a tight game. These two teams probably will finish similarly in the table, at least in my opinion. Southampton, obviously, were carried by Danny Ings last year. Hassan Hurdle's a very solid coach. Roy Hodgson's kind of passed his best, but he's still solid, and he's done good to keep Crystal Palace in the league because there's definitely been a lack of form and talent in that team besides Zaha. They let Wan Bissaka leave a couple of years back. So it's interesting to see Eze as well, who they got from Queen's Park Rangers. He'll be a good signing. Jordan Ayew, like you just mentioned, could score in this game. I'm going to go with the same score. I think 1-1's probably the right score line at this point. I think Joe just mentioned it. A lot of teams, I think, will get off to a bad start and a slow start. Not necessarily bad, but not going to be as clinical and all that, just like any other season would be, especially with a shortened break in between the seasons. But, yeah, this game could go either way. I think either team could win, but I'll go with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, I'm going to actually go in favor of Southampton. I'm on the Southampton bandwagon, so to say. I think they're going to finish top half of the table this year, if I remember from my predictions. think they're finishing. I think I had them finishing 9th. I really like Danny Ings. Very high on him. I think he's one of the best strikers in the league. I mean, he was in contention for the Golden Boot for a little while last season. So I really think Southampton's a great team. I like their possession football. And while I do love Zaha, I just don't think they have the juice to be a more clinical Southampton team. So moving on, we got the Liverpool versus Leeds
Did you give a
United
score
matchup.
line?
What's the prediction?
Did you give a score line?
3-1 in favor of the Southampton.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with for Liverpool Leeds. We're gonna toss it over to my guy Christian over here. A little flick. Hey, bring it down.
Okay. Well, obviously, this is going to be an interesting game. That's an interesting analogy, first of all, flick.
Yeah, it's a little flick, like a little
No,
flick up.
okay. We're moving on from that. We're moving on.
Okay, so this game will be played at Anfield. That definitely will give us an advantage. Leeds lost Ben White, which is a big blow in my opinion. He was a team of the season worthy striker in the championship last season. Now at Brighton. Could Calvin Phillips play? He just played for the England squad. I don't know what that's going to work with a lot of those players because you just mentioned Danny Ings. He played for them. Trent Alexander-Arnold hasn't been in the squad when we played friendlies because he's been with England. I don't know how that's going to work with a lot of these international teams, but I think we're just going to have way too much for them to stop week 1. I think we did struggle towards the end of the restart, especially at the beginning when we lost to Man City, got dismantled by them. Arsenal put up a good performance against us at the Emirates. So there's definitely capabilities, but I just don't see Leeds having enough. I think we're going to come out, play well, show why we're champions, and I'm sure Salah and Mane will each get on the score sheet, hopefully Firmino, because we need a better season out of him. But I'm going 3-0, excuse me.
Yeah, I'm going to go 3-0 as well. I don't think Liverpool will start off as quickly as you would think. I think Leeds is a really good organized team. So I think Liverpool will take some time to break them down, maybe only get one in the first half, but then Klopp will figure them out. Second half, they'll probably run riot. I think they're going to win 3-0. Leeds is a quality team. I think they're going to finish top half of the table. Excuse me. But I think Liverpool, the champions, they're going to pretty comfortable going out of this game. It's going to start off a little rough, but they'll get through it definitely. I'm saying 3-0 Liverpool.
I'm going to go 4-2 in favor of the Reds. I think that they're just too good of a team. Never mind. I do think they're too good of a team. I think that Liverpool's going to just come out on fire. I do think there might be a mistake or two in the back that's going to have Leeds back at least one goal. And I just think, I mean, you say it's at Anfield, that doesn't really matter too much. There's no fans. Who cares? But basically, yeah, I think that Liverpool is just a much stronger team. Moving on to the other match on Saturday. The match on Saturday, it's an absolute stinker between West Ham and Newcastle. Jacob, what's your take on that?
I don't know. I mean, actually, I know why you think it's a stinker because you have an anti-West Ham agenda.
That's just not an interesting matchup, like Newcastle versus West Ham.
I disagree, but
if you Newcastle's a lot of new signings. They just signed Ryan Fraser, Callum Wilson, and Jamal Lewis all within like 24 hours.
Hey,
or so.
oh, Newcastle! Anything against any West Ham? Anytime West Ham can lose, I'm for it. So.
Well, we'll be happy. I think Newcastle will win 2-1. So I think Newcastle. I had them finishing 16th in my predictions, but those are before they made those signings. And even if so, they may only move up a couple of spots because of those signings. They'll be solid. They're not going to be great, nor will they be the worst team in the league. I think Newcastle is just a bit better than West Ham. Maybe. I don't even know. West Ham has a pretty decent side. But I think West Ham will start off slow. I think Antonio may bag a goal. But other than that, I think Newcastle may get the result. I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle.
Joe, come on. We got to talk about this. We have Premier League football back. Every game's a good game. You can't call it a stinker. Come on, man.
Anytime West Ham's in the game is a stinker.
He hates West Ham more than he hates Pep Guardiola.
It's true.
That's tough. But
hope to get relegated.
Yeah, Jake just mentioned 3 big signings on Newcastle's level, but still they were quality players. Callum Wilson's going to be able to do a lot for them. Ryan Fraser gives them another option on the wings. And Jamal Lewis, who was wanted by Liverpool, they didn't pay enough for Norwich's liking. $5 million plus more from Newcastle, and he's there. He'll start, I'm sure. But West Ham is a team that has a lot of talent, but they question me because I don't know if they can prove it to me over a full season. Sebastian Haller, who came from Eintracht Frankfurt, didn't play well in his first season. Felipe Anderson, after a very good first season his move from Lazio, was not good last season. Declan Rice, that's a big thing. They kept him, which is a lot of teams were looking for him. Chelsea was looking for him. Manchester United had some links. Obviously, the window is still open, so this could change in the next month. But it's going to be a tight game, I think. And Joe just mentioned that he thinks the home stadium doesn't make an effect. I think it somewhat does. And this being at London Stadium, I think it's still going to be tight. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. I think St. Maxim scores for Newcastle and Antonio scores for West Ham. I think both teams are just not gonna be too good this season. I think you guys are overplaying the Bournemouth signings a little bit. They played for Bournemouth for a reason. There's a reason they went down. They didn't show up this past season. I don't think they're gonna impact Newcastle.
Ryan Fraser didn't play barely, so.
And Callum Wilson, starting striker. Am I right?
And don't mistake my them winning this one-off game, making them think I big up Newcastle. I don't really. I have them 16th.
I do like Newcastle. I was kind of hoping they'd get those new owners. Yeah, at least maybe not those guys, but like I like them. They're a big club.
Callum Wilson scored
a big
goals and had 1 assist last year, so it's not great, but
yeah, I'm not saying they're going to be game changers. I think they're just going to help them in this game. If Callum Wilson does end up playing, he's a better option than whoever they had up top. Wolves would be. Who was their striker last year?
Joelinton, and it offers a different way to play. If they want
to be fair, would you rather have 8 goals or 2 goals? Yeah, 8 goals.
Joelinton's gonna have a better season.
Is he? Is he?
What do you mean? Is he? Come on, man. 2 goals? You think he's gonna have that many? He's only gonna have that many.
No, I mean, not gonna be much better. I'll tell you
I
that.
think I have a better midfield than he had at Bournemouth.
No, let me ask you this: Haller or Joelinton? Who has more goals this year?
Haller.
Okay.
Fair take. Anyway, we'll move on again. We got moving on to the first matchup on Sunday. We got West Brom versus Leicester City. 2 teams that are interesting. Jake, you want to speak on them?
I think it's actually an intriguing fixture. I think West Brom is a team that I have going. I have them surviving. I believe. I think they're going to survive. They're going to finish in 17th, if I'm not mistaken. And I want to see how they come out and perform against the Leicester City side who bottled this year. I'm interested to see how Leicester will respond to how poorly they finished last season. I'm predicting a Leicester victory. I'm saying 2-0. I don't think West Brom will win this game. I don't think they're even going to score on the score sheet. But I think I'm interested to see where West Brom goes from here. I think Leicester's going to get this win though. Vardy just signed a new deal with Leicester. He's too good for really any championship side defense. I think he can run riot. He may bag a brace, to be honest. But, I mean, there's too many weapons for Leicester. I'm saying 2-0, and, yeah.
Yeah, West Brom, it's an interesting team because I don't really trust Bilic, former West Ham manager, of course. So I'm not too sure how I feel about that. And Leicester, to me, I think will just blow by them on the counterattack. I don't know how West Brom plays, what system, what formation. And Bilic could set them up defensively where they're very compact and then go sit on a counterattack and try to go win the game 1-0. I just don't see it happening. I think Vardy's going to be able to play well. James Maddison's going to be able to perform. Will they be able to do it over a full season and get close to top 4? I don't see it happening. But for the first game, I think they're just going to destroy them and dominate them overall over the course of the 90 minutes. I got 3-0 Leicester.
See, I'm going to go West Brom here. I think they're going to bag a 1-0 victory. I think they're going to get one of those newly promoted size jumps, kind of like what Norwich had last season when they get newly promoted and they kind of come out of the game.
They lost 4-1 to Liverpool on week 1. But
yeah, but this is freaking Leicester City. They're not Liverpool, okay? A big difference, right? One team is champions of Europe and then became champions of the Premier League. The other team is Leicester City, who bottled the top 4 in a spectacular fashion. They made us, Tottenham, look like champions because we never would have done that.
No,
that was 4.
They still won a trophy before you did. So.
All right. So anyway, I think West Brom's going to win 1-0. And moving on to said Tottenham Hotspur, we're playing Everton. And I'm a little nervous about this game because we might be starting Joe Hart in net. And if that's the case,
are you serious?
Winning 3-2, 3-1.
He might start.
Where's
Hugo? Here's the thing. So Hugo's on international leave with the
Correct.
Nations League. And I believe the way France is going, there's still that quarantine period that when he's gonna come back, he's gonna either might have a quarantine period.
Did Mbappe get corona as well?
Exactly.
Mbappe get
So I
corona?
don't know if they're gonna allow him to start week 1. So if that's the case, I think Everton's gonna win 3-1. But if Lloris is in net, I think we're gonna win 2-1.
So we need one of them.
I'm giving you my takes. If it's Joe Hart in net, we're losing 3-1. If it's Lloris, we're winning 2-1.
No faith in Joe Hart.
No, he's garbage. I'd like to see Gaza in there, but
he's even worse.
No, I'd argue that's wrong. I'll side with Joe here. I like Gazaniga.
I like Gaza a lot. I think he's
as a backup starter.
I think he's a Premier League starting keeper.
No.
I think he could start on like
a relegation side,
or a relegation side team, like some team that's bordering relegation. I don't think he's a top 6 starter. I don't think he's even the top half of the table starter. But I think he's a bottom half of the table starter. I think you could throw him in Newcastle and it wouldn't be terrible.
Dubravka? No.
Dubravka's better than him. But I understand where you're coming from. I was actually going to go with Tottenham draw 2-2, regardless of Lloris, or I thought Lloris was going to be playing, but now that you brought that up with Joe Hart, I'm saying 2-2 draw. I think Everton's midfield is going to be not surprisingly good. They have a really good midfield anyways with Allen, James Rodriguez, and Decore just signed. If they all start and they all play, I think Everton's going to cause problems for Tottenham, and I think it's going to be 2-2. I don't trust Jose. I've said this before. I think they'll win games like this as the season wears on, but starting off, this isn't a very good first fixture for Spurs to get off to a good start. I'm saying 2-2.
Prior to what Joe just said about Joe Hart, I had a draw. I believe that Everton's going to be able to score. Where's the game? Is it at it's at Spurs. Either way, I think Richarlison's going to get on the score sheet. I think Calvert-Lewin could also get there. I think this is going to be tight. And Jake just mentioned a very, very good midfield, and they still have Andre Gomes. They still have some other guys. So they really have depth at that position, which is remarkable because Everton really hasn't been one of those top sides in the last decade or so. So if they can perform this season, who knows? I think they have a chance at top 6. I didn't predict them to finish in the top 6, but they have a chance with the team they have. Pickford still is a little suspect in my opinion. I don't like him personally as a goalie, but I'm going to go on a limb and say 3-2 Everton.
See, you guys just hate me, and that's why you're picking that. But if it's Joe Hart, yes, definitely. But if it's Lloris,
I said I had a draw prior to the game. I said prior to Joe Hart news.
I said
Joe Hart news, okay.
Regardless, I was going to say 2-2. I just think they have better midfield. They have better midfield than you.
They don't have a better midfield than us, but this is for another time. Anyway, we're moving on to Sheffield United versus Wolves.
Can't even land. All right. Sheffield United versus Wolves?
Yes.
I'm going to go Wolves win 2-1. I think Sheffield United will definitely get a goal. Ollie McBurney, McGoldrick will get a tap in or something like that. Off a set piece or something like that. Chris Wilder like to score goals like when you least expect it. I think Sheffield is a team that's going to stay up again. They're going to be 14th, 13th maybe. I don't know where I had them predicted to finish, but Wolves are too quality of a side. They've shown since they've come up in the Premier League that they're here to stay. They added some new players this summer as well. I think Wolves are just going to be too much for them in general. Even if Wilder wants to stay compact with his team, play 2 blocks of 4, I think Jimenez or somebody up top at Wolves are going to be able to get in once or twice. I'm saying 2-1 Wolves.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to allude to, which is Connor Cody, which we just mentioned about Lloris. We've mentioned about some of the other English players who have been on international duty. Connor Cody's their captain. He was on international duty. Can he play? I think that, and I would expect him to not play, but I could be wrong. I think that will give Sheffield United a goal, but I believe Adama Traore, Raul Jimenez, Diego Jota, the list goes on. They have a fantastic team overall, and I think they have an aging midfield with João Moutinho, which they do need some replacements, but they continue to buy in the market. I think they just bought another Portuguese youngster. I think they're going to buy another one, which seems like it's been working. So I trust what they're doing, and I believe that Adama, Raul Jimenez, the list goes on. They have too much for Sheffield. And even Joe says they could be in some trouble. I think they'll be comfortable. But this specific game, 3-1 for Wolves.
I'm going 2-0 for Wolves. I don't think Sheffield United has the ability to score more than 2 goals in a game that often this season. I really don't. I think if they're gonna win, they're gonna be winning 1-0 or 2-0. I mean, I don't really think they're gonna be doing too much. And then again, they don't have Dean Henderson back there to protect the posts. And yeah, you guys know I'm not high on Sheffield at all. I'm actually very low on them. So I think the Wolves are gonna come in here and take care of business under Nuno. And finally, we move to our last game, the new and revamped Chelsea Blues and then the Brighton Seagulls.
Yeah, Chelsea, I think this is a win for them. I have Brighton going down, actually. Now, I don't know how confident I believe I'm confident in that. I think they're going to go down, but I could definitely be proven wrong, obviously. I like Lewis Dunk. Their attack isn't terrible. The midfield isn't that bad either. They have decent pieces, but I think, overall they're not going to be able to stay up. This Chelsea game, they're out of their depth. There's too much quality. There's too much money spent on Chelsea's team for them to lose this match, even draw. I expect Ziyech and Werner to start. I'm not sure if Pulisic's fit. I'm not really fully sure on that. But regardless if he is or not, there's too much quality all over the pitch. Frank has a lot of options on who he can play this game. I'm saying 3-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I like Brighton. I have them staying up. I think Ben White returning off the loan. Adam Lallana, yes, obviously I'm a little bit biased because of a Liverpool supporter, but the fact is he upgrades their midfield even at his age. So, like Jake just mentioned, they do have some pieces across the field. Mopé, even though has his antics, is a decent forward. Connolly, the Irish attacker, is also very talented. He dominated Lloris, I think, last season or the year before, correct, Joe?
Bodied him.
I don't know. I was in Pittsburgh when that happened, so I don't really remember that game.
Okay,
bodied him that game.
I think they have the pieces. I think they just lost Glenn Murray. I think he's on loan, but that didn't matter. He hasn't really been relevant for a while. But I think this game, way too much talent. Pulisic, I hope, starts and gets off to a good season because I obviously don't want to see Chelsea beat Liverpool on any circumstance, but I would love to see Pulisic have a fantastic season, an almost Eden Hazard-esque season for Chelsea. Is that realistic? I don't know, but he is on the uptick, definitely 100%. Hopefully he can get a goal, maybe an assist if he's available. But yeah, Jake just mentioned it, way too much talent, way too much money, a much better defense, and Thiago Silva should be playing. There is links that the Mendy goalie from France is
personal
on his way. If that is the case, this could be a even more interesting top 3 race. But for this game, 4-0 Chelsea.
So I got a little bit of a shock here. Got Brighton scoring 1 goal, and Chelsea scoring 5.
You're going to get the viewers there. You had me, no cap.
Yeah, I think Chelsea, my opinions on Frank Lampard. But I think they're going to come out and they're just going to dominate. They're going to have all those new guys come together, and they want to show it, and they got a weak Brighton team. I got 5-1 in favor of Chelsea. So that's our Premier League match week one preview. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys soon.